Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far. In less than 48 hours from when this video is going live, the CDL is going to kick off officially for the 2021 season. A lot of great matches coming up this weekend at the Atlanta home series for seeding for that Stage 1 playoffs, which is going to be happening in a few weeks' time. Interestingly though, power rankings came out yesterday from Cronus CDL Intel. He'd been asking pretty much all the pros that he could get his hands on, the analyst staff over at those teams, the coaching staff, to figure out exactly who they think are the best teams in the game, average everything out, and see what comes out as a result. Pretty interesting to see some of these rankings, especially the fact that Atlanta FaZe, despite a pretty disappointing kickoff classic, are being ranked significantly higher on average than OpTic Chicago at the present time. We'll also have a look at who comes down at the bottom of the pile. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, from the New York subliners confirming their Challengers Elite squad for the season. Saint Sonata is officially now on the team, as of course we expected, but yeah, finally this is officially confirmed. You can certainly look at a team like Los Angeles Guerrillas, maybe from last season, and say, should they really got rid of Saints? Definitely a talented player, been performing very well so far in this online arena. And the Challengers Elite series, we're going to explain exactly what is going on just here. But before that, Clayster says, name this pro team. Beating these guys 249 to 27. Clay's like 20 and 6. I mean, there's this guy 5 and 18 right here. So, well, people are getting absolutely bodies by the New York subliners in this scrim. And Vivid comes back and says, 8 people on one cable line and can't hear callouts, got me feeling some type of way. So confirming that it was indeed the Los Angeles Guerrillas that were getting bodied in this scrim, giving some reasons why exactly that may be the case. But actually in this power rankings we're going to look at in a second, it's actually not Los Angeles Guerrillas which the pros have put at the bottom of the pile, at least at the present time. Things of course will change throughout the season. So CODLY confirmed yesterday, all set for Challengers Elite Season 1. Teams and match schedule are now up on our website, taking you through the action our broadcast team for the Challengers Elite. So these are the 3 casting trios, Bryce, Tan and Dream Crazy, I think like a former female pro or something, so really cool to see Bryce and Tan especially back, you know, where they belong on at least the casting deck. So I think there's going to be trios, not exactly sure how they're going to be running between the matches. Alleycat, Spaceman and Fox is another one, I hold Shift, Visions and Infinity, so really happy for all these guys getting their shot finally on the Challengers Elite side. And interestingly, there's actually going to be a dedicated Challengers Elite YouTube channel where all this stuff is going to be streamed. I'll leave a link to the article down below if you guys would like to check out the entire schedule. But effectively for Season 1, it runs alongside the Pro League. I think it actually starts today, the Challengers Elite matches, but it's going to be on in Europe from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then in Eastern time as well in the North American region, it's 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time as well. So I'm pretty excited to see how all this stuff goes for these Challengers Elite squads. They're, well, the upper half, of course, of the amateur scene, streamed on youtube.com/COD Challengers. They do have their own YouTube channel right now, so the broadcast stuff is there, the format and the schedule is finally announced. It was pretty interesting the fact that, well, some of the players in this were like, okay, when exactly are we playing? We're pretty sure we're playing tomorrow, but when is it? And they announced like 12 hours before their matches begin, or maybe 18 hours or something, actually what the schedule is going to be, who they're playing. So slightly delayed, but yeah, I suppose they finally got there. And cool to see some Challengers coverage as well from the CDL. I'm actually going down this route, not streaming it on the official CDL channel because it would clash with the CDL matches, but having an opportunity as well on the table to watch the Challengers sides, because it's going to be a fantastic one throughout this season to see who are the next players up, especially when we look for potential 16-team expansion into next season. So as Crone says, 2021 preseason power rankings voted by CDL players and coaching staff. Last season we had a similar thing. It was relatively correct. I think Chicago Huntsmen proved to be somewhat better on LAN than they were in these pre-season online power rankings, but it also must be said, these are all based off online pre-season scrims and such, based on what the pros and the coaching staff and the players have seen, and therefore they should be relatively accurate, maybe even more accurate than we would see last season, when actually we went to LAN and some teams were better than others. So let's run through this article right here. Let me just make sure that is fully on screen. Okay, here we go. So Dallas Empire number 1, as expected, but the average ranking is where it gets pretty interesting to me to compare these across teams, because Dallas get a 1.6. This I imagine was voted by over like 30 pros and such. He talked about, I've reached out to pro players, coaches over the weekend to get their power rankings for the season. I imagine there's quite a lot of people involved in this right here. So the average ranking of 1.6 is, well, pretty indicative, right? And we can look at not necessarily the numbers on the left-hand side, like number 1, number 2, number 3. It's maybe more about the average ranking to try and see which teams are actually closer than maybe they appear to be on paper. So Dallas Empire, I thought that most people would maybe look at Dallas and say it's a pretty clear-cut number 1. But that's clearly not the case, right? Because if everyone thought they were number 1, they would get a ranking of actually 1, right? Or they'd get like a 1.2 or 1.3, something very close. But a 1.6 shows that a lot of players are putting them at number 2, number 3 even, and it's averaging out at a 1.6. Number 2 goes to Atlanta FaZe with a 1.9. So this is honestly very close, right? A lot of people saying that, look, FaZe are very, very close close to the Dallas Empire right now. That's maybe not what we would expect from a fan perspective, given, okay, we saw the Kickoff Classic, they lost in that 3-2 match against the Florida Mutineers. A lot of people saying at the time, okay, FaZe aren't as good as we expected them to be. You know, they're fallen off the pace somewhat to where they were back in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare season, but clearly these last couple of weeks, the expectation is, well, clearly from a lot of the pro players that have scrimmed these guys, that actually they are back on top form once again, and right up there competing with the Dallas Empire. And OpTic Chicago down here in number 3. From a fan perspective, we might have said, okay, well, these guys maybe should be number 2. I think that that's probably how I would have done it if I was putting a power rankings together. But the pros and the coaching staff are putting them at a 2.5, which is quite significantly below. Clearly, you know, a lot of people putting them at number 3, a lot of people putting them at number 2, probably some putting them at number 1, but that's quite significantly behind, you know, the 1.9 of FaZe and the 1.6 of the Dallas Empire, right? So pretty interesting to see Chicago get 3rd. This is exactly how it played out last year, right? Chicago got 3rd, they come into CDL London, they win the event, right? So we'll have to see what happens this time around. Crucial to note as well that players cannot vote in their own they can't vote for their own teams, or their votes for their own teams do not count in terms of the rankings. So Florida Mutineers get number 4 with an average ranking of 4.4, so a significant fall off, right, from 2.5 to 4.4. It's pretty clear cut that people think, okay, there's clear cut top 3 teams. Then you've got the Mutineers kind of as the best of the rest. Moving on for the Mutineers, LA Thieves with a 4.8, so very close. So between Los Angeles Thieves and Minnesota Rokkr have a 5.6. So all of these teams really, between the Los Angeles Thieves, Mutineers, and the Minnesota Rokkr, are all very close in terms of matchups, right? So okay, let LA Thieves get number 5 at the current time, Minnesota Rokkr get number 6. Does kind of show how stacked that Group B is in theory, right? Because Group B, you've got FaZe, you've got Mutineers, and you've got OpTic Chicago, of course, in that group. Those are the teams 2, 3, and 4 on this power rankings. Whereas Group A, you've got Team 1, Team 5, and Team 6 in LA Thieves and the Minnesota Rokkr. In 7th down there with a 6.5 is actually Toronto Ultra. A lot of people saying from the pro side, well, I'm not sure I would have put Toronto Ultra this high from a fan perspective, but clearly given that these are ranked on by the pros, they must see Ultra as a pretty significant threat, especially in their scrims and such that they have played so far. So Ultra get a 6.5 average, New York Subliners get a 7.5 average, so they come in at number 8, so significantly behind the pack here still, but ahead of the Paris Legion with an 8.2 and the London Royal Ravens with an 8.7, and then it drops off quite significantly, right? So pretty much all the pros saying, I mean, London Royal Ravens are in 10th here, but still with an 8.7 average ranking. That's, you know, shows they're probably better than this number in the top left implies. Then the last two teams, as expected, that's LAG with a 9.6 average, and then Seattle Surge with a 10.8 average, right? So this is what's interesting to me, the fact that even LAG with a 9.6 are significantly above the Seattle Surge with a 10.8, right? So it seems from pretty much everyone's perspective, Seattle are the worst team in the league. Of course, a 10.8 isn't a 12, so not everyone's putting them absolute rock bottom of the pile, but yeah, that was the discussion when I did my power rankings a few weeks ago. The fact that, okay, LAG versus Seattle, who's the worst team in the league? LAG did win, of course, at the Kickoff Classic, which leads a lot of people to believe that, yeah, the Seattle Surge boys right now are the worst team in the league. Once again, you could say from last season as well. Who knows how things will develop over time? Maybe they will improve in due course. I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, right now, it's not looking great. So really the big question is FaZe versus OpTic. Number 2, number 3. Pros seem to think FaZe is better, but OpTic has always done historically very well at the start of the season, and it's not a matchup we saw Atlanta versus OpTic for a very long time last season. But this weekend, Sunday the 14th of February, we're going to be seeing that matchup at 6 PM Eastern Time, FaZe versus OpTic. That is really going to settle the score who is number 2, given that, you know, we imagine Empire is probably number 1, and they shouldn't face too much competition in that Group A, with their nearest competitors probably being something like the Los Angeles Thieves or the Minnesota Rokkr at the present time. A few things to finish off the video. This was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, they did a video from the Envoy opposites. It was like the Botes sisters, who are, you know, chess players or whatever, that have joined them recently. Honestly, Crim's face when he's going around that corner just cracks me up every single time I see it. They did a video of like a go-karting around the offices. We saw some teasers for this, I think, quite a while ago. And Crim, of course, like, you know, he likes doing track days and stuff in his Porsche, and he's driving the go-kart around the offices right here. And to get fast without the S, his face honestly just gets me every time. This video is fantastic, but also interestingly, you might notice here, Crim's wearing this jersey, right? People are saying, okay, these are the new jerseys, and as Chrome says, the new Dallas Empire jerseys were spotted in their most recent YouTube video. As you can see, the Botes sisters wearing them right here. And Pistachio, their social media guy, was saying like, at Cronar, come on bro, you didn't have to do that, but I mean, you know, do your own announcement, right, before you have people wearing it in the video. So this is what they look like for this season. And yeah, fast without the S, I was dying when you crossed the line which time, and yeah, this is the final one, not to necessarily spoil the content for you guys, but yeah, this video is definitely worth a good watch. Porterhouse gets the job done right to the end. 3-time world champion for a reason. And just the final thing to finish off with this from Scraps, dying and watching pub players in a 2 versus 1. This is just incredible. I'll end the video before you get to see what this guy does to finish off the job. But yeah, absolutely remarkable stuff from Joe Biden and the boys. Scraps is completely mind-blown at this. And yeah, this is league play in a nutshell right here. Scraps finding the absolute teammates yet again. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really help out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Top cat. Top cat. On your left, mummy's milker. Seen him? You've seen him? Oh, this ain't funny!
Why does he run off?
Just wait here, you can hear him!
Complete the mission.
He's not got...
He's not even going to be able to get over now, is he?
Bomb online.
Oh god.